Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Eva Lorraine. So today we're going to be doing this look. So first we're going to start off by doing our eyebrows. So just for this purpose, I'd like to use a pencil. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to start shading my eyebrow in. I really don't use a pencil every day. Sometimes I might use pomade. I'll use NYX Taming Frame or Anastasia Brow. But for this look, I am achieving this with a pencil in the shade of a deepest brown. So my eyebrows are finished. I am going in with concealer. So the concealer I will be using is my Can't Stop, Won't Stop. No, just kidding. My Gotcha Covered Total Control by NYX in the shade Golden. So like I said, I like to go in with a heavy full coverage concealer. I think this is the best to use, especially when you're doing precise looks. I have very curly, unruly eyebrows, and I did not completely tweeze the straight hair, so I just went in and I used this Total Control, and it covers just about everything, especially the stray hairs that are left behind. So yeah, the first palette that I will be using for this look is my Juvia's Place. I believe this one is the Zulu palette. So I'm going in with the first color here, and that's going to be the yellow. So like when I'm building, I like to swipe the color across and try to give an evenness to the color. So I'm going to swipe that across my lid. Excuse me, across my the highest of my eye here, closer to my brow. So I'm going to be blending that and building that. And for this purpose, I'll be doing both eyes at a time. I think sometimes I really don't have a preference when it comes to doing both eyes or doing one eye at a time. It just depends. So the next color I'll be using is from the Crayon box. It's just the yellow. I think I wanted to build because the Zulu had more of like a yellowish orange undertone to the yellow, so I went in with the Crayon box yellow that was more like canary, and I wanted to brighten that up, so I put that right over the top. So what it did, it just brightened it up. I think I didn't want to lose my yellow in this look, so I just compiled both yellows on top of each other. So yeah, back to the Zulu palette by Juvia's Place. I go back in and I'm going to be using the orange color. So this is my second transition color here. So yeah, like I was saying, I go in and I like to brush it across and build. I like to build the color rather. So I'm going in and I'm building the color on both eyes, and yeah, creating a nice transition there. All right, so the next color we'll be jumping back into the Box of Crayons palette, and I'm going to be building that on my lid right under the red. So like I said, I'm going to be swiping the color on, and for the red, I'm not using the back of the brush. I'm actually putting the color on and stamping it in and dragging it. And I'm also going to be compacting and building the color. So I like to go in and just make sure I have as much pigment as possible with this here. Okay, so let's jump back into the Zulu palette. I'm going to be using that orange. What I like to do when I am transitioning, I like to go back in and go back through the steps so I can make sure none of my color is fading. It's really important when you are building a look, and if you're doing a gradation, you go back in and you create that transition. It's like a rainbow. A rainbow goes from one aspect to the next, but it has colors in between that cause the gradation so that it flows. Just basically on the color wheel, certain colors complement each other, certain colors can transition into each other, and it's really important for a color for a look rather, not to get muddy. So that's why I go back in and I'm going from the red back to the orange and then back to the red so that I can cause that gradation. Alright, so now we're going into our NYX Glitter Primer. So I'm going to be taking that and I am going to stamp that on my lid just very lightly. One thing that I do notice about using the NYX Glitter Primer is it can get very hot on my lid. I don't know why, but I think that the lid is very sensitive. So like I said, I just kind of lightly press it in, not too much pressure. I mean, I am doing a little pressure here. And then the glitter that I will be using is a loose glitter. I can't remember who I got this from, but it's a red loose glitter. And I'm going to be placing that lightly on my lid. So that's what I'm doing there. I'm not going to be focusing on how much glitter I actually have on my lid, only because I don't want this to be a highly saturated glitter look. So now that I have my lids, I'm going to be going in and lining my eyes. So what I'm using is a Revlon Color Stay Liquid Liner. Honestly, I don't think that this liner, it's in a black. I don't think this liner is the best over glitter. Honestly, it's really hard to decipher between liners when you do line, when you're doing a glitter look. I just trial and error. Sometimes I might use a pencil rather, or I might pre-line before placing the glitter and just being very careful and very precise where I place the glitter. Or you can just dust it off and then reline. But it's really hard when dealing with liquid liner and glitter applications. I'm just going to be honest. So next I'm going in and I will be highlighting or concealing, well, mainly concealing with my Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define. This is in the color C11. I know that this may be a little bit brighter. I think for me, it's a little bit more ashier on my skin tone. I like the feel of it because a lot of times I go in and I bake with something a little bit deeper, and you'll see that going forward. So I'm going to be taking my beauty blender, as you can tell, and I'll be spreading that. The reason why I love Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define is because it's a dupe of Shape Tape. So yeah, it's a dupe of it. It's very thick. It conceals and it covers. Honey, it is just the best. I think so. So I'm going to go in with my Tarte, and I believe this is in the color Rich Sand. I don't use this foundation for everyday looks. I think this color is a bit dark and it's full coverage. I don't use this foundation every day. Sometimes I might use it for specific looks. So for this glam look, I'm going to be using that. I will be spraying my beauty blender with my Makeup Revolution Pro Fix. And this spray, I really like it because it's very, very light and it adds the dewiness. So basically, I like to just stamp around my face and spread the product. Like I said, this is a full coverage foundation, so I like to stamp it around and just get the foundation in there. So next I will be using my Makeup Revolution powder, baking powder in terracotta. I really love to be sun-kissed. You know, I always say this, like, I like banana powder, don't get me wrong, but for specific looks and just about, I mean, all the time, I love to be sun-kissed. And I just feel like the terracotta adds a bit warmth and takes away the ashiness of certain concealers, and just, you know, when you highlight and you conceal in those areas, it just adds the warmth back to your face, makes you look a little bit more, you know, youthful. So next I'm going to be adding my lashes. I have like a collection of lashes. If you've watched my videos, or if you've actually watched me on live on Facebook, you know that I have like a compact case of lashes. I don't remember exactly which style or company this is from. I don't keep the boxes. I own over 100 pair of lashes, so I really don't even know where these lashes came from. But so now that I have my lashes on, I can go ahead and dust away my baking powder, the terracotta that I put on. I like to brush it away and into you know, my cheekbones and the areas, getting away all of the harsh lines. So yeah, I'm gonna go into this contour palette and in the deepest warmth shade, and I'm going to be contouring my cheekbones. I naturally have, you know, a bit of high cheekbone, and I have that natural contour. That's the beauty of being a woman of color. So it doesn't take much for me to create that contour. And I'm just going to contour my nose just a little bit in the areas there as well. Okay, lastly we have our lips. So I'm going in with this mahogany brown NYX suede lip liner pencil. So I naturally have full lips. I overline sometimes for certain looks, and the reason being is because I have like this halo, and I've always had this halo around my lips, I don't know, since I was a kid. And it doesn't really bother me sometimes, but for some looks I of course want my lips to look still full, like put foundation, but nothing really works. I don't know who else, comment down below who has that lip issue. So yeah, so I'm going in with my NYX lip matte soft cream in the color Copenhagen. So I'm gonna go in with that. I like this lip cream. It's very soft. It spreads very evenly. I'm not going to be using too much, but I will definitely cover my lips. My Makeup Revolution Pro Fix fixing spray my face evenly, and just, you know, dry it off here. Yeah, your girl was doing the most. So lastly, we're gonna go back in with our Morphe palette. I believe it's the 8S Stellar Impact. This one is the highlighting palette. So yeah, this is the finished look. I definitely was going for something very dramatic, but also subtle, and I just love how it came out. So thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Have a good day.